Okay, so this lesson is about using sounds that you've recorded yourself using a microphone. Yesterday, the students recorded lots of sounds from around the school, the Ariwa College sounds. So that's now on Facebook here. I download that file. It's a zip file of all the sounds. And then once I've saved it into my music tech folder, I can go to my desktop music tech folder and I can double click that file and it will open up as a folder of the sounds. Now yesterday there's a strange one here that got in. Number 1 is a really annoying sound. So I'm actually going to leave that one off and not use number 1. But from 2 downwards, these were the useful sounds that were recorded yesterday. So now in Reason, I need to load those sounds up into a drum machine. So we're going to create an Ariwa College drum machine. So the instrument we're going to use is a Kong. That's your drum machine, 16 drums available. At the top of the Kong is the normal folder button for loading up a whole kit, but I'm actually going to do one drum at a time. So I click on drum number 1 to highlight it in blue, and then from the folder I can load up a file for that drum. So I go to my desktop, I go to my music tech folder, OC sounds, and I'm going to put in sound number 2.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Now there is a drum noise in that recording, but I've got to edit that sound so that I can cut it down to just that drum kind of noise. So for that, on the Kong, you need a bit of extra info. So down the bottom here, you've got a little arrow, brings down some more technical stuff, and you can see the file there that's on number 1. So I can now right click that, and down here on this list, we have Manage Samples. Now this little window pops up. This is all the recordings that are used in the whole of my song. So it lists it by instrument. So there's my Kong, and my Kong currently has just number 2, the recording. If I click on that once, I can edit that recording. There's the recording, and I can do what we did before, where I can move the start point. I can have a listen. I can see where the drum noise is, and I can move the start point roughly to there, the end point roughly to the end of that sound, and I can then zoom in on that section down here that I've highlighted to make sure I can trim it even better. I can now move the start point really close. I can move the end point here. Now what I'm going to do here though is I'm not going to chop it like this. That would leave off what's known as the sort of ambience and the resonance of that sound. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to even go up beyond here and just have a bit more to play with when I'm writing my music for that one sound. You don't want things just cut off so quickly. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to crop that and save. And now on my number 1, I've got that sound that was on that recording. Okay, so now I'll just quickly run through that again as number 2. So click on number 2. I then go over to the side here where this one drum folder button. I can go to number 3, and I can click OK. The window for my Manage Samples is still open, and you can see number 3 there now. So I can edit that one, and it's pretty good recording actually, because I've got a very obvious sound. And you can see that the sound went on all the way down that triangle. So I'm going to move my start point to about here. I'm going to zoom in on that section at the bottom here so that I can get really perfect, and yeah, that will do. I can then crop that and save. And so number 3 here is on there. You can keep going, load up all those 10 sounds onto those 10 drum things, and then at the bottom here you'll want a Lego block. You'll want your right locator at the end of that 1 bar, so over the 2, because then with loop on, make sure loop is on, it's going to loop 1 bar, and I can then with the arrow double click that and actually start writing out a drum kit, a drum beat using the OC sounds. Okay, That will do for today. What we need to do is improve those sounds in the next lesson and add effects and beef it up a bit. But that will do for now.